what is going on in Hong Kong. All right, let us go to Hong Kong. On the ground there, we have Tom Grundy. He is editor-in-chief there of the Hong Kong Free Press. Tom, good to see you there. I can see you are right in the middle of what has perhaps been quite a difficult scene today in Hong Kong. Can you just paint us a picture of what happened today?
Yes, well, it's been a day of multi-district violence, vandalism, and certainly from the police side, we have seen tear gas, pepper spray, water cannon, and from the protesters, Molotov cocktails. This is the aftermath of one of the key junctions on Nathan Road, which is a tourist thoroughfare, which normally on National Day, a holiday, would be packed with tourists, especially from the mainland. At the moment, if I flip the camera, you can see that there are people gathered here a little bit nervous about some Raptors, which are the police special unit, just in the background. There are things strewn all over the floor that protesters have left, hoping to slow the police advance. You can see some barricades made of bamboo just outside the local HSBC headquarters here. Certain restaurants, companies, banks, and the MTR, the metro system here, have been the target of some of the vandalism after they fell afoul of protesters. You can see absolute mess here outside the Mongkok MTR station. And most of the transport system was actually shut down to try and prevent these scenes today. But as we see in the distance, some police, along with some massed young protesters who've been running battles north and south along this key thoroughfare, it ended up being a very dramatic day throughout the territory.
Indeed, and Tom, we've been seeing a lot of images from what was happening in different parts of Hong Kong today, and we saw that video of a protester shot at close range by a live shot, and all the other videos we saw surfacing today. Is it fair to say that this is the worst escalation it's been in the 4 months that this has been happening? And if so, is it a turning point?
Yeah, after 17 odd weeks, there were fears that somebody perhaps on the police, press or protester side could get shot in some way. We've seen police use non-lethal weapons throughout this summer of dissent in the city. But what the worst fear sort of happened today, as you saw a teenager, a protester who rushed towards seemingly an officer with a pole of some description, was shot in the chest. We haven't got much more details on that at the moment, but certainly one of the big demands of the protesters right now is an independent investigation into police behavior. And there were some warning shots earlier on in the night, but looking at the footage, it's likely to enrage protesters even more, and there's surely going to be some more flashpoints in the weeks to come, despite us getting through this National Day.
Of course, we saw that also. It is a completely different picture in Beijing, in China. What has the Chinese government's response been, and what is your sense of how they want to move forward from now?
Well, as an autonomous city, it is just out of reach of China. And whilst they've been having lavish parades and celebrations today, there's little they've been able to do about the unrest here, which has been a dampener on the party, if you will. They have put a lot of this down to foreign interference, of which there is little evidence of. And they've been simply, through their channels and through state media, urging protesters to stop. But there has been no further concessions when it comes to the 4 other demands. After the extradition bill, which sparked this, was withdrawn, protesters are still pressing for full universal suffrage, for amnesty for arrested protesters, and indeed the independent investigation into police.
All right. Thank you for that, Tom Grundy, there on the ground in Hong Kong, bringing us the scene from there. I mean,